Continue reading Brahma Samhita 5.3 Part 2. The meaning is that Ras is only the transcendental service of the central refuge Sri Krishna as predominating aspect of the Absolute, by one's ego as the spiritual maid of the predominated moiety of the Absolute integer, attended with pure devotion in the shape of one's entire self-surrender. The pastime in Goloka or in Gokula during the stage of devotional progress is the meditative worship through the mantra, and during the stage of perfection the pastimes manifest themselves as the unrestrained transcendental jubilations. This is the real aspect of Goloka or Gokula, which will be made more explicit in due course. The meaning of the words Jyoti Rupena Manuna Brahma Samhita 5.3 is that the transcendental meaning is expressed in the mantra, by meaning of which on the part the transcendental desire of love for Krishna and the service of Krishna being added, one is established in the eternal love of Krishna. Such eternal pastimes are eternally manifested in Goloka. Tad kinjalkam tad amsanam tad patrani shriyam api. The wall of that eternal realm, Gokula, is the hexagonal abode of Krishna. Its petals are the abodes of gopis who are part and parcel of Krishna, to whom they are most lovingly devoted and are similar in essence. The petals shine beautifully like so many walls. The extended leaves of that lotus are garden like a dhamma, i.e., the spiritual abode of Srimati Radharani, the most beloved of Krishna. The transcendental Gokula is shaped like the lotus. The eternal world is like a hexagonal figure, in that the entities Sri Radha Krishna appearing in the form of a mantra consisting of 18 transcendental letters are centered. The propagating manifestations emanating from the Chit potency are present there, with the said entities as the center. Sri Radha Krishna is the primary cause, or the seed himself. Gopala Tapani says Omkara signifies the all-powerful Gopala and his potency, and Klim is the same as Omkara. Hence Kam Bija, or the primary cause of all love, is connotative of the entities Sri Radha Krishna. Chatur ashram tad paritaha swetadvi pakhyam adbhutam chatur ashram chatur murtes chatur dhama chatuskritam chaturbhi purusarastascha chaturbhi hetubhir vritam sulair dasabhir anandham urdavadho dik vidiksa api astabhir nidibhir justam astabhi siddhibhi statha manurupaischa dasabhir dikpalai paritovritam shyamair gauraischa raktaischa suklaischa parasada sabhi sobhitam saktibhi stabhir adbhutabhi samantata. The surrounding external plane of Gokula is described in this verse. There is a mysterious quadrangular place named Swetadvip surrounding the outskirts of Gokula. Swetadvip is divided into 4 parts on all sides. The abode of Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha are separately located in each of these 4 parts. These 4 divided abodes are enveloped by the fourfold human requirements, such as piety, wealth, passion and liberation, as also by the 4 Vedas, viz. Rik, Sham, Yajur and Atharva, which deal with the mantra and which are the basis of achievements of the fourfold mundane requirements. 10 tridents are fixed in the 10 directions, including the zenith and nadir. The 8 directions are decorated with the 8 jewels of Mahapadma, Padma, Sankha, Makara, Kachapa, Mukunda, Kunda and Nila. There are 10 protectors, Dikpalas of the 10 directions in the form of mantra. The associates of the hues of blue, yellow, red, and white, and the extraordinary potencies bearing the names of Vimala, etc., shine on all sides. Primarily, Gokula is the seat of transcendental love and devotion. Hence, Yamuna, Sri Govardhan, Sri Radhakunda, etc. of the terrestrial Vrajamandal lie within Gokula. Again, all the majesties of Vaikuntha are manifested there, extending in all directions. The pastimes of the four propagating manifestations are all there in their proper places. The Paravyoma Vaikuntha has got its extension from the display of the four propagating manifestations. Salvation as of Vaikuntha and piety, wealth and passion pertaining to worldly people are in the proper places in Gokula as their original seed, i.e. primary cause. The Vedas also are engaged in singing the song of the Lord of Gokula. There are 10 tridents in 10 directions to prevent and disappoint those who are aspirants for having an extra entrance into Goloka through meditations without the grace of Krishna. Self-conceited people who try to reach this region through the paths of yoga, meditation, and Gyan empiric knowledge are baffled in their attempts, being pierced by the 10 tridents. Self-inhalation has its excellence in Brahma Dhamma, which represents the outside covering of Goloka in the shape of tridents. Sula means trident. The mundane threefold attributes and the threefold divisions of time represent the trident. Astanga yogis, i.e. ascetics, who practice the eightfold yoga, are the non-differentiative liberationists who, trying to approach in the direction of Goloka, fall headlong into the pits of disappointment by being pierced and cut asunder by these tridents placed in 10 directions. Those who proceed towards the direction of Goloka through the channel of devotion alloyed with majestic ideas are fascinated with the charms of Vaikuntha, which is the outer covering plane of Sri Goloka. At the sight of the 8 perfections, viz. Anima, etc., and the majesties like Mahapadma, etc., those are less forward in their intelligence relapse to the sevenfold world, falling under the control of the 10 protectors of the 10 directions. In the guise of mantra, in this wise, Goloka has become unknowable and inaccessible. It is only the divine selves of Godhead, the propounders of the divine dispensations for the different ages, who are always forward there to favor the approaching devotees who seek entry into the realm of Goloka through the channel of pure devotional love. These divine forms of Godhead are surrounded there with attendants of their respective natures. Svetadip in Goloka is their place of abode. Hence, Srila Thakur Vrindavan Das, the manifest Vyas of Chaitanya Leela, has described the village of Navadip as bearing the name of Svetadip. In this Svetadip, the concluding portions of the pastimes of Gokula exist eternally as the pastimes of Navadip. Hence, the region of Navadip, Vraja, and the realm of Goloka are one and the same indivisible entity. The difference only lies in the manifestations of the infinite variety of sentiments corresponding to the diverse nature of their devotional love. There is in this a most hidden principle which only the greatest souls who are possessed of the highest transcendental love are enabled to realize by the direct grace of Krishna. The truth is as follows. In this mundane world there are 14 spheres disposed in the graded order of high and low persons living with wives and children, hankering for the pleasure-giving effect of their fruitive actions, move up and down within the limits of the 3 worlds of Bhu, Bhuar and Swaha. Brahmacharis of great austerities, ascetics, and persons addicted to hypothetical truth persons of a neutral disposition, adopting non-fruitive works by an aptitude which seeks to be free from all mundane desires, move up and down within the limits of the walls of Maha, Jana, Tapa and Satya. Above these walls lies the abode of four-headed Brahma, above which lies the unlimited realm of Vaikuntha of Vishnu. Kshirodakshai Vishnu, lying in the ocean of milk, Paramahamsa, sannyasis and the demons killed by Sri Hari by crossing the Viraja, i.e. by passing beyond the 14 walls, enter into the luminous realm of Brahman and attain to Nirvana in the form of temporary abeyance of the temporal ego. But the devotee actuated by knowledge, Jnana Bhakta, the devotee actuated by the pure devotional aptitude, Sudha Bhakta, the devotee imbued with loving devotion, Prema Bhakta, the devotee actuated by pure love, Prema Bhakta, and the devotee impelled by overwhelming love, Prematura Bhakta, who serve the majesty of Godhead, have their locations in Vaikuntha, i.e. the transcendental realm of Sri Narayana. The devotees who are imbued with all love and who walk in the footsteps of the spiritual mates of Vraja alone attain to the realm of Gokula, realm of Goloka. The different locations of the devotees in Goloka according to the respective differences in the nature of their rasa, i.e. mellow quality, are settled by the inconceivable power of Krishna. The pure devotees following the devotees of Vraja and those following the pure devotees of Navadip are located in the realm of Krishna and Gaura respectively. The identical devotees of Vraja and Navadip simultaneously attain to the pleasures of service in the realm of Krishna and Gaura. Sri Jiva Goswami writes in his work Gopal Champu that the supreme transcendental realm is called Goloka, being the abode of Go, transcendental cows, and Gopa, transcendental cowheads. This is the seat of the Ras pastimes of the absolute Sri Krishna. Again, the realm is called Svetadvip, owing to the realization of some of the rasas which are the inconceivable manifestation derived from the untouched purity, that supreme realm. The twofold entities of the supreme Goloka and the supreme Svetadvip are indivisibly the realm of Goloka. The gist of the whole matter is this: Goloka as Svetadvip is externally manifest because the pleasures of enjoyment of the ras could not be had in its entirety in the pastimes of Krishna in Vraja. He accepts the emotion and effulgence of his predominating moiety, Sri Radhika, and makes an eternal pastime for the enjoyment of Krishna rasa there. Sri Krishna Chandra, coveting to taste the following pleasures, viz. To realize the nature of the greatness of love of Sri Radha, the nature of the wonderful sweetness of his love of which Sri Radhika has got the taste, the nature of the exquisite joy that accrues to Sri Radha by her realization of the sweetness of his love, took his birth like the moon in the ocean of the womb of Sri Sachi Devi. The esoteric desire of Sri Jiva Goswami Prabhu is herein made manifest. In the Veda, it is also said, "Let me tell you the mystery." In Navadip, the identical realm of Goloka, on the bank of the Ganges, Gaurachandra, who is Govinda, the entity of pure cognition, who has two hands, who is the soul of all souls, who has the supreme great personality as the great meditative sannyasin, and who is beyond the threefold mundane attributes, makes the process of pure unalloyed devotion manifest in this mundane world. He is soul Godhead. He is the source of all forms, the supreme soul, and is Godhead manifesting himself in yellow, red, blue and white colors. He is the direct entity of pure cognition, full of the spiritual chit potency. He is the figure of the devotee. He is the bestower of devotion and cognizable by devotion alone. The self-same Gaurachandra, who is no other than Krishna himself, in order to taste the ras of the pastimes of Radha Krishna in Goloka, is manifested in the eternal realm of Navadip, identical with Goloka. This is also clear from the Vedic declarations, viz. Asan Varnas Traya Krishna Varnam Tui Sa Krishnam Yatha Pashyati Rukma Varnam Mahan Prabhur Vai, and various other statements of the theistic scriptures. Just as Sri Krishna had his birth in the mundane Gokula through the agency of Yog Maya, who is the primeval energy of the Supreme Lord, so with her help he manifests the Leela of his birth in the womb of Sachi Devi in Navadip on this mundane plane. These are the absolute truths of spiritual science and not the outcome of imaginary speculations under the thralldom of the deluding energy of Godhead.